Hello YouTube. Today we're going to go over an old video game that I had put together and never finished. You ever wonder what a video game is made of? It's basically a lot of code that just runs in a cycle from start to end in some sort of loop. Variables are updated, numbers are compared, pictures are updated, and it ends whenever the condition is met. Let's see. So here on my left, or on your left, we have some old code. Here at the top, there's stuff here telling the computer that it's using this kind of framework and where to find all the good stuff that runs it right. Here's more declaration of variables, pictures, and things. Don't worry if you don't understand. It's not too important. I don't remember what a lot of this stuff is because it's been a long time since. My buddy was supposed to be doing the artwork for the game. He never drew me anything. Instead, he found some sprites from somewhere, and these are from Earthbound. You can see Ness down there in the bottom left, and he's in a variety of positions. My request to him was that I get 2 pictures of him going up, 2 going down, left, right. She can't see because my face is covering it, and at angles. And we have a death animation, and he kind of put a sword in there for animations for attacks in different directions. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, we never finished this thing, never went anywhere. It gave me an opportunity to figure out what I could do in XNA. So we'll just take a quick look at what's going on. In a program, coders typically will just keep track of their variables however they want. You can use object-oriented programming. You can keep records. Um, mine is a mess here. I just kind of threw everything in there. A normal coder would probably have been using more functions and procedures to kind of keep things more organized. And now that I'm looking back at this code, I am regretting it very much because it's very difficult to read. Um, you can see things like this over here where it says new rectangle, blah, 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 0, 330, 90, 110. I suspect what I had been doing there is select a sprite from the sprite sheet, and I'm guessing that that's the width and height that it's taking from there, but it's not important. The idea of what's going on is there's a big loop, things are updated, and that's it. So let's dig in a little bit. All that stuff is declaration, not too interesting. Loading up a sprites sheets. 1, 2, and 3. Right over here you can see these are being pulled out. Loading stuff, yada, yada, yada. And you can see over here, we are getting a keyboard state, and if it's left control, it does a thing. So here it's checking. Let's open this up a little more so we can see what's going on. Here we're checking an X versus another X and a Y versus a Y. So basically it's checking to see if it is in a particular quadrant. believe. Yeah, really hard to read, but at least I kept these things in a pattern and a line so we can figure out what's going on. Right here, this is looking like I was trying to keep a distance. Anyway, if it goes through the checks, it will send a state over to all the records and things with the zombie information. All that good stuff there. It could be there. Oh my goodness. This is, yeah, it's been years since I looked at this. I tried to look at it a little bit earlier. I was trying to figure out how to control this first player. It's so difficult to read. My second player, I found out I was, it's either the second or third, I was trying to get it to get controlled by an Xbox controller. And then I've got another player set up so that it uses SDFE as the up, down, left, and right. And it looked like it never got an attack programmed into it. So yeah, keyboard states, all that good stuff. Going up a little more. Where are we at? We're still on the first player. I had some comments going on in here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Declaration. And I never got any sound effects, so it's just gonna be me. So you can see there's a lot of checks going on. So we are definitely still in the player one area. Here we go. That's the end of the player one area. Player two is basically a copy of player one stuff, and I just updated the variables. I remember setting up a state of the characters that would count up. So if it counted up to like 10 or 100, I forget, then the character would stand up. And if it was on the ground, it would be at 0 or be negative or something like that. Here you can see I used S, F, S. This is for second player. So very busy. And in player two. Here we have our player three, which was where I was trying to get an Xbox controller to work. Over here, this is kind of a fun thing. You use the Pythagorean theorem here to check for radius. Very useful for a 2D game to check if things interact. I think I've seen some languages, they have a thing where that they can check if sprites are touching, which is convenient if you like using that kind of deal. I felt more comfortable doing my own math. And then I have a section, is it here? I believe it's under player 3 where I have, yeah, here we go, end player 3. We begin our zombie AI. I believe what I have here is that over time, we raise how many zombies there are. And let's see. Da, da, da. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Oh my goodness. But basically what's going on with all of the characters moving, there's I used like the number pad deal. 1, 2, and 3 would be going down left, or 2 would be straight down. Basically 2, 4, 6, 8 would be down, left, right, and up. And as we use that, I'd have to flip them so that if I was going in direction 8 going up, it would alternate between these two sprites. So it kind of gives more life to the character. If I hit the attack button, I want to make sure that I keep that direction stored somewhere so that it'll know that it's attacking up or down or wherever. I was hoping to bring Mina in, but it seems like she's taking a nap, so we'll bring her in some other time. So a lot of fun stuff. And then down here, this is actually where we're calling in the background and all sorts of stuff. Um, man, there were a lot of these numbers. Even when I was programming this at the time, I wasn't sure what all of this junk was, because you can see how many variables it's taking as an input. So you have to write your function, and you got to add in what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish inputs and variables. Ooh. Well, anyway, this never made it to the light of day, to the public. My buddy managed to uh, make his living another way, so good for him. Me, I'm poor, so you know, do the YouTube things, help out. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, let's scoot this back over. I put a little shortcut here, and that should run the game. So here we go. And the first player is already dead. So I don't know if my mouse shows up. It does not. So this zombie up here in the top center of the screen, that is one of my players. You can move around. That's about as far as I got. That's unfortunate. Over here, this is my third player. We took my niece's face and slapped a mask on to the character. And this character can attack, so I can bop the zombies and they'll fall down. When they fall down, there will be a counter, and when it finishes counting, everything will be reset. These zombies don't really interact with the second and third players, so it's not very interesting. So I can run around, bop things. Nothing happens. I don't have to worry about it. I had issues also with the panning the screen. It wasn't a very easy thing. Let me go ahead and start this over. And I can demonstrate the first player is a bit more interesting. The zombies are just kind of walk around randomly. That's how they're programmed. If I remembered how, I think I had programmed a thing where I could spawn more and more zombies so I could fill up the screen, but not so much right now. When I enter the zombies radius, they recognize that I'm there and see how this one is following me, and I can drag them around like that. If they catch me, then obviously I'm dead. We did program an attack, so we can just bop them on the head. It would have been fun to get this done. The idea would have been to entertain kids. If I could set my kid on this and she could sit there for an hour bopping these things and just run around in circles, she'd be really entertained, right? If you haven't watched our Ninja Turtles games, she just kind of hangs out on the right side of the screen, and she's pretty amused seeing all the other stuff going on, even though she doesn't kill anything. So that's what it is. But this is something nice to show off. It's not something that everyone has out there. And this, I think I managed to put this together in like 2 weeks on the XNA software. The biggest headache was actually just installing the thing. I think I needed to update more and more drivers or something. It's the biggest headache. Learning the language isn't really that bad. It was a good experiment. Anyway, I hope that killed some of your time, made you go aha, and this is potentially a project other programmers could get off running, and you could sell it on, you know, Nintendo Switch Store, Xbox, whatever. And I've seen games similar to this, and they charge whatever they want, $2, $3, 50 cents, 79 cents, whatever. But yeah, that'll do it. I'll end it there. Hopefully you guys will help us out, subscribe and all that, tell your friends, blah, blah, blah. And we'll keep doing what we do.